This is the beginning of the episode.
Okay, start off with a quote. Then, if we got nothing right off the hop.
Mike, bring on the quote.
Bring on the quote. We already discussed off here that we don't have anything to talk about, so we'll start with a quote. Okay. And I've been looking at books to read over the year. So I've been inundated with a bunch of different gurus from various industries now in my Instagram feed. And one really stuck out to me. So I have a quote from him that I want to share with you. And this guy, he's been slowly creeping up, and I see more and more people sharing his stuff. And his claim to fame is, or at least from the outside looking in, he wrote a book about this, what I'm going to read this quote about. And this is his claim to fame. So it's about time management. Do you guys struggle with time management? Like, do you wish you had more hours in a day and everything like that?
Yeah.
I'm currently recording this podcast and scheduling dump trucks. So I feel like I could use more hours in the day.
This is perfect for you then. This is going to be great.
This guy is going to put more hours in my day.
Absolutely. Yeah. In fact, you know what? I'll read the quote because it spells it out for you.
That's without jet lag, Chad.
Wow.
He doesn't need you to fly all over the world on vacation to get more hours in your day.
Well, I could have used more hours in my day on Monday. Anyway, go ahead.
All right. So this is his quote. So when I say I, it's him. Quote, I've shrunken, bent, and manipulated time. My day starts at 6 a.m. and it runs till noon. That's a day. My second day is noon till 6 p.m. My third day is 6 p.m. till midnight. I get 21 days a week now, and you only get 7. Stack it up over a month. Who's going to win? I'm going to crush you. You are a fool if you're running a 24-hour day. End quote.
I think Kramer tried that in Seinfeld. Is that not a thing? Didn't he try that and he ended up falling asleep doing something important? What can we get some backstory to this? What does he mean?
He means that he gets 3 days for every 1 day because of the way he structures his day. So he has 6-hour days. So he's able to do 3 days for every one of your day.
So do I have to subscribe to
you have to buy his book,
what he does?
And then he's probably got a mentorship program. And then he's probably got an expedited program of some sort.
Can I just bust in here and say that's totally asinine?
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for somebody.
The stupidest thing of all the gurus. If someone says to you, hey, I got a meeting 9 on Tuesday. You're like, listen, my 9 on Tuesday is actually 1 p.m. on Monday. So you might want to rearrange your shit because your 9 a.m. on Tuesday is actually my 1 p.m. on fucking Monday. So really, you got a 1 a.m. a 1 p.m. on Monday. And then now you're in your Wednesday, you're actually at 11 p.m. on Monday. Someone's calling you up and saying, hey, Wednesday, 7 a.m., meet me for breakfast. You're saying, listen, man, we got to hit the all night joint because your Wednesday at 7 a.m. is actually my Monday at 11 p.m. So hit me up for breakfast at 11 p.m. That is absolutely one of the stupidest things that I've heard ever. That is anyone who you can't you can say that's how you're breaking up your day, but Tuesday is still fucking Tuesday. You could say I'm
I wonder what his business hours are.
From 6 a.m. till midnight.
Yeah.
In 6-hour days. What does he So you go through it, you go, okay, I got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday on Monday. I got Thursday, Friday, Saturday on Tuesday. And then I got Sunday on Wednesday morning. Well, did he create more days?
Randomly? More days are created, yeah.
Yeah, but what's the name
of those? He found a way
days?
to bend, manipulate, and shift time to his liking.
What are those days? What are they called? Are we making up new days? Star Day. Like
Dr. Day.
Twinkle Day. Like there's only like that is, but I guarantee there's someone going, I need more days.
Oh, he's got a best-selling book around this topic.
This guy, that is, people will buy anything. People are so fucking stupid.
He yells at people a lot. I think that's a big thing about like these like larger than life gurus, is that you need to yell at people to get your point across. It's not good enough to just have some sort of, thing. You have to yell at people. So like it seems to get across to people more if you yell at them, spit at them, and send them on your way, and then they come back begging for more.
Does it only get the low self-esteem people? I can't imagine anybody with a normal functioning level of self-esteem or high self-esteem buying into this shit. Like, if someone yelled at me, I'd yell back at them or fucking walk away. But I'm not going to do what they ask of me by getting yelled at. So.
The comments on this Instagram post were like, oh yeah, well, every hour of my day is a day. So I get 24 days for every one of your days. And then somebody else would be like, well, every minute is a day for me. So
the trolls are having fun with that one.
Have me for breakfast. I want to have breakfast. I'm having breakfast on a Tuesday. It's actually lunch. So like breakfast on a Tuesday is actually lunch on a Monday, right? You think about it, it's 6-hour days. You say like, so during the 6 hours, do you say, okay, 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., got to hit the hay, got to get a couple hours sleep in, wake back up, and then start a new day? Like do you go to sleep after 4? Do you sleep every 4 hours on this schedule?
Well, he's able to stay awake for 3 days straight, and then he sleeps for 6 hours, and then he's able to stay awake for 3 days straight. It's just each day is 6 hours for him.
That's definitely the Seinfeld episode I'm thinking of. This isn't real. Are you just pulling one over on us?
No, like I'll send you the reel. Yeah, I probably saved it, but I didn't want to send it to you guys before actually, taking him quote for quote and seeing what
you wanted to see a natural reaction to this.
Yes.
Sign me up. Absolutely sign me up. This is the stupidest system of them all. I would rather go to the 19-year-old kid's university where he's going to teach me about when to buy a skid steer. I will attend that and fucking take notes before I will divide a day into 3 days. But if it's a 3 days and it's 24 hours, why wouldn't you divide it into 8-hour days? Because you're left with this awkward 6 hours off to the side when you do 6-hour days. That day doesn't really, so it's really a fourth day of 6 hours, but we don't count that. And then we wake up the next day and go back to our 3-day schedule. Like that 6 hours is lost. Like, I can't believe that people think of this stuff.
This made me think, you know what? People will buy anything these days, but there's going to be coming a time where that's a little bit harder to pull one off on people.
Yeah.
I don't think there will be, because in a recession, people are going to get more desperate.
Yeah, that's true.
And people want the cure-all. And if you're selling the more time cure-all, hey, I'm sorry that my kids listen. If you want to have my kids' hockey game on Wednesday night, you got to realize for me, that's 6 p.m. to 12 p.m. on a Monday. So reschedule that motherfucker.
I wonder what this guy's like billable hours are. Like if he was in trucking and he was billing by the hour, is every 1 hour 3 hours? Like is he generating 3 hours worth of revenue in 1 hour? Because I could sign up for that.
This guy's getting good airtime and being pushed by a lot of higher gurus. But how that's happening is he pays for that, right? He pays for that exposure, and then people bring him on as if they're great buddies and stuff. But
is that why you guys are hanging with me?
Yeah,
because I paid you.
No, we pay you good, buddy.
I can get that big boost.
No, Mike doesn't get paid for things.
I pay you guys. I don't get paid for things.
Okay.
My goodness. Oh well, we'll see how this guy goes. I guess. Like, maybe I don't follow enough gurus. Like, you guys are always bringing the gurus to me.
Maybe you just buy what they're selling and you don't want to share it with us.
I'll send you some reels. You watch those reels, you'll see them start to come up on your feed more often.
Yeah, so, like I'll watch a couple and yeah,
Chat is secretly on every guru's funnel.
So I have an issue that appeared this week. I have a video that went semi-viral. How big does it have to be to be viral? It's like viral? 5,000 likes. It's
5,000 likes.
5,000 likes. Yeah. I don't know. Is that good? I don't
how many plays is that? Give us some context.
Fuck if I know.
You gotta go.
I don't even know how to check.
Is that Landscape Daddy?
Yeah, it's
so go to your reels. Open up your Open up your homepage.
Okay.
Reels. And then the reels is the second one. Press that and it'll bring it up.
It's the one 802K.
That's pretty viral.
Okay, so that one.
What is the video of?
It's one of my guys. He's got two Grabos, the suckers, and he's lifting off a piece of pool coping, and one of my other guys is gluing, just like brick stop or brick whatever it is underneath. Then the guy's setting it back down, and it like apparently went viral. But now I'm getting all these followers that are like robots or something. Like they're fucking sure as shit not real. So, like, and I don't know how to stop them because it drains my phone battery because it's always a notification that someone new started following you. But they're like,
just shut your notifications off.
How do you do that? Anyway, that's not you'll have to tell me later how to do that, how to shut that off. But that's not
go in your settings on your cell phone. So go to general, go to settings.
Yeah, but I only want them off for Landscape Daddy. I don't want them off for the other one.
Well, maybe you can adjust it inside the Landscape Daddy account.
Yeah.
Right? How many followers has Landscape Daddy picked up?
Before my vacation, we were at like 650, and now we're at 1,200.
Nice.
So yeah, but is it like it's hollow?
If it's not the right followers, right?
Yeah, it's nothing. Like
it's kind of like if you were getting tons of views in India.
Yeah, maybe they are, or maybe that. What is it? Chat bot, whatever.
Mike knows why I said that directly. Do you know exactly why I said that, Mike? Yeah. Okay.
So I'll just I don't know. Nod my head.
Are they Chat GTP?
Yeah. I don't know what they are. Anyway, so and then the peanut gallery chimed in. Oh, you're not using enough glue and all this stuff. Fuck off. Everything you've heard a million times.
I think that's what makes it go viral.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because then people comment and then it just like it pushes out to more people.
But there's only 30 comments on it. So.
I listened to the How to Hardscape podcast and they had an expert on and he said about posting reels using music and all. So I've been doing that consistently since I started that process. I have gotten less and less views and less likes. And I mean, I could track it. Like I am down to like 10 people liking a reel on my page since I started this post one every day and the magic will happen. I like literally know I get like, I used to get 5,000 views a reel. I'm down to like 400 since I started this once a day thing. And I'm like, this is fucked up. Other people are getting to 100,000 viewers doing this shit. I'm sourcing out viral music. I'm following the trends. Instagram actually alerts me now and said, you've matched 4 trends with this reel. And then it pops out 120 views. I don't get what's going on. I think it might be because I think my account might get flagged because very frequently it says, comments like this have been blocked and complained about on other accounts for the language you're using. So I think potentially my account is shadow banned over language that gets used. I think it might be just, I was at a meeting tonight and a bunch of people were like, yeah, we never see your shit anymore.
Really?
It used to come through every day. You were like first thing in the morning. It would come through and I would like it. I haven't seen one of your posts in 2 weeks. I'm like, stupid How to Hardscape podcast. Things were going great for me until I listened to that motherfucker. Listening to the How to Hardscape podcast has managed to grind my account down to almost no engagement.
Maybe you should start a new account.
Maybe.
Maybe that would
Maybe.
help.
Maybe I should swear less on the one that I have. I
That
don't know.
maybe, yeah.
When most of the viral videos you see don't include stuff like fuck decks.
Yeah.
Like there's not that much swearing. I don't know. But seriously, like my account engagement is down to a quarter of what it was. Like being serious, like I was obviously joking around before, but since I started the once a day reel, following the trends, finding my account is down to a quarter of the engagement that it normally has.
Wow.
Like it has taken a significant dip. Meanwhile, Chad's using not enough glue and going viral.
Yeah, that's it. Next
I
time
got
you
no- I
build a
got no-
project,
I
use
got-
insufficient glue.
I got no coaching clients. I got no fucking views on my Instagram account. All I got going for me is this podcast. Don't kick me out.
If you should make a reel where you make a mistake like intentionally in it. So I saw a reel go viral and then a bunch of people reacting to it of this guy commenting on somebody using an excavator to break up ice like on a path, and the guy in the reels like who's reacting to it is like, oh, I've never seen somebody use a forklift to break up ice. And then it went viral because he said he thought an excavator was a forklift, and then people are reacting to it. It's gonna do something like that.
I've heard someone else say, I bought this tractor to dig the backyard, and at the end it was a fucking skid steer. And at the end he's like, I knew it's not a tractor, talking into a stupid fucking feather. But same sort of idea, right?
Gotcha.
Do you want to talk something landscaping?
Sure.
Sort of, because I guess it's a
this podcast doesn't have to be about landscape. Well, no, it's like
sometimes it's nice when it is, though. It's a
throwback
to our heritage. Maybe it's not even landscaping. I want to talk about these 2 Chinese excavators I bought today.
Yeah.
I would talk about those.
Did you not buy one, Mike? I thought you were looking.
I was, but then you outbid me.
Did I? Do you think I bid on the exact same one you bid on?
One of the ones you posted a picture of was one of the ones I had a bid on.
There was like 10 of them. Come on.
No, I could tell. As they went over what I would pay, I deleted them out of my watch list.
Oh. What was your top bid that you were
$5,000. Down?
$5,000?
That was as much as I would pay for one. What did you pay?
I paid $7,500 for one, and I paid $7,250 for the other. So,
mind you, these are brand new excavators.
These are brand new Chinese excavators. They run on gas.
They run on gas.
Yeah, they're gas. They're not diesel powered excavators.
Oh, I didn't even look at
these are like one step bigger than like a fucking pull cord start.
1.3. They're 1.3 ton.
Are they? Well, anyway, they run on a Briggs and Stratton motor.
Sick.
I think
it's actually easier to fix.
Yeah. I watched.
Why did you buy? What was it? Why did you buy these?
Because I have to get them home anyhow, right? And I figured if I bought 2, first off, I think I'm going to sell them right off the hop. Like I don't even think I'm going to
flip them.
Yeah, I don't even think I'm going to dig a hole with these things. I checked them out online.
What are you going to flip them for 10? Well, I guess we shouldn't talk about that in case you try to sell.
I don't care.
You should put a tilt rotator on them.
Yeah, the tilt rotator's $35,000, and the shovel is $7,000.
These are brand new excavators for $7,000. Like, they're still wrapped in plastic, like and bolted to the skids.
Yeah.
These aren't like demos, or these are brand new excavators for $7,000.
Yeah. So I figured I got to get them home, and
I volunteered to go get them, but you didn't follow up on it.
Yeah, but I can't get them today. Like I just bought them today.
No, I would go get them some other day. You tell me when you want me. I literally provide a service. This is part of my business to go do these things, to get other people's shit and bring it to them.
How far away is that place from where you are?
35 minutes.
Really? It's that close?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's why I said, do you want me to go get it? I would bring it back to my yard, put it there, and then you could come and get them from my yard with your float.
That would be great. Maybe I'll take you up on
it. I wasn't even going to charge you.
It's not too late, is it?
No, it's not. Well, I don't know. I kind of took it personally.
Oh, geez.
Is it too late? No, I can still send someone. I will still go get your excavators if you want me to.
Beautiful.
I was just going to bring them back to my yard. They can sit there, and then whenever you want them, come and get them.
Maybe you
Or
can.
maybe you can just sell them direct.
Yeah, I could sell them
yard.
directly out of your yard.
Oh yeah.
What do you
That's
think?
closer to the GTA.
So I was looking up what these things sell for online, and it's like $12,000. Like
That's still reasonable for a brand new excavator.
Yeah.
a brand, yeah, like you got to try it. I don't know. Maybe you can dig some holes at your yard with them before
There's
I
a
come
lot
pick
of
them
snow at our yard. I can move the snow around with them.
up.
Dig
That's
the
real
snow around.
impressive. But I don't know. I don't think you can go wrong with what I paid, and maybe
Do you have an excavator that's small?
No.
So wouldn't one like that be handy for backyards?
I tend not to do projects that have a access like that.
Look at you,
Um,
Mr. Lottie Da.
If I can't, no, it's just because we have more space around our homes than you guys do.
Right.
Mike,
like
you want to
if-
buy an excavator?
I already asked him. He said,
How much?
No,
hey,
well,
here,
I was
no,
looking at them.
I'm making a deal right here. I'm gonna cut a deal. How much did you spend renting an excavator last year, Mike?
Oh, an excavator, not too much.
Come on, you know the number. You're Mr. Know Your Numbers. What did you spend renting an excavator?
I honestly haven't gone through my numbers enough from last year to know that off the top of my head. But it's not
Seem
even
like someone who sells software to know your numbers.
I've been really, really busy. It's
Do you
been
think
a
you
crazy.
spent $5,000?
No,
Five
definitely not.
grand isn't a lot.
No,
I was
not
gonna
for
say
a
maybe
mini X. For a mini skid, yes, more than that.
those
mini
were
skid
much more.
expensive. 20
Yeah.
grand.
Yeah.
I was
Even
looking
the
at
China
those.
ones.
Have you guys had a lot of luck buying from those auctions in terms of like what you're buying?
I've never bought anything.
That's the
Oh,
first
really?
time. Yeah, this is the first time I ever pulled the trigger on something. Like I always get cold feet. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
no, I don't want to
How-
buy it. Like,
How much did the buggy sell for? The big buggy.
25, I think,
Wow.
which is still pretty good considering.
So instead of buying the buggy that you have an actual purpose for 25, you spent 15 grand on two excavators you have no use for.
You're absolutely
really-
right. But
When we break it down, we really-
yeah, but if I flip these things and I can make maybe 5K, then
Hmm.
the next time a buggy comes around, I got
Yeah.
5K in my pocket extra
That's
to
true.
buy a buggy, right? Like,
do you think in your local area you could start an excavator rental business?
Mm.
I might, but I don't know if I want to be renting Chinese excavators.
Why?
I
That
wanna-
seems kind of racist.
No,
Are you trying to say that the excavators aren't made well?
yes.
Just,
Like a lot of
there
things
goes
that
our
come from
sponsor.
China.
There goes our sponsors, Chad. Thank you.
Are you trying to say that a brand new X? So let's compare it to my E20 because I feel like that's a fair comparison there. Well, the E20 is a bit bigger because
Yeah.
let's compare it to a Kubota U17 because the Kubota U17 and a Chinese excavator H742 Dashong 1.3 ton are
Yeah.
probably similar in size, right? I looked these things up too. They were 1.3 ton and a 1 point. So a Kubota 1.7 ton is probably around 35 grand.
$35,000.
Well, I know an E20 is upwards of 40 grand now, 42,000.
Okay.
So let's say a U17, Kubota is always a little bit less expensive than Bobcat. Let's say a U17 is between 30 and 35 grand. I think that's a fair assessment.
Okay. Yeah. I
So
think
you
you're
could potentially buy 5 of these excavators. And you're trying to say they're substandard, Chad? I think that's bullshit.
if I'm wrong,
Well, you'll know.
I could be wrong. I'll know. You're right. Or
See,
maybe
if
I
it-
won't know because I'm selling them.
If
like,
it
I'm
was
not-
me,
Go ahead.
if it was me, I would keep at least one of them
Yeah.
for a season because you already own it. I'd keep it and be like, I want to see, because once it's in the yard and guys know it's there, you're on some commercial job and they would have dug it by hand for a half day. They're like, no, take the Briggs and Stratton and let's go.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they start using this thing and you're like, man, shit, now I can't get rid of it. And you earn back your 7 grand. One of them needs One of them needs to go for sure. I feel like you have no use for two.
I need the numbers guy to tell me how many hours I got to put in this thing before it explodes, like, or before I make my money out of it to where it's worth nothing. Because I don't know what that number is. Like, I don't. $7,000, 8,000, so
Oh.
$8,000.
How much is it to rent an E20 a day?
I don't know. I've never
Probably
rented.
about 350.
350.
Mike would know. Okay, let's go with Mike. Mike, we need to rent a mini excavator for a day. So 350?
350 plus delivery and pickup.
Well,
but if you're picking it up, just 350.
Let's just go with the rent. 350. So how much did you pay for these things, Chad?
Let's go 7,250 plus 10%. So
plus 700 bucks.
Yeah, 700. Plus I got to get them home. So let's say $500 a piece to get them home. Let's say $8,500 total.
8,500 divided by 350. So 8,500 divided by 350. So they got to work 25 days and you got your money back. I don't think it's that hard to find work for that excavator for 25 days.
No.
Mike's nodding his head.
I could because I need those like tight access machines, right?
Mike's nodding his head saying, maybe one of these could just get delivered to my storage.
BK, could you just drop it off at my condo? Just in the parking lot is good.
Do you have underground parking?
I do.
They're low.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
You could put how big? Well, do you park your truck underground?
Yeah.
Do you have a truck?
I do.
Okay, well, I don't know. Like, I mean, that's a fair question. Like, I don't mean,
can you roll the excavator down into the parking garage?
Maybe you're running your business from a Subaru Brat. I don't know. So, I'm saying the truck probably takes up the majority. It's a full size truck, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Like a Chevy.
Yep.
1,500.
25.
You have a Chevy 2,500?
Yeah.
In a parking garage in Toronto?
That's surprise. Yeah.
Balls to you. That's pretty good. Yeah. It fit in there. I was just thinking like you could wrap the excavator right up and put it right against the wall. And then you could still park the truck up against it. And then
that wouldn't work.
It's not a long box, is it?
No.
Oh.
Is it an extend cab?
Yeah.
Crew cab or just extend cab?
It's the extended cab with the half door.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had those. All my handles broke for the back doors.
Oh, really?
Whenever I had Chevys, yeah. I had two of them. But
so you're saying you have nowhere to store the excavator, Mike?
Nowhere to store it for now.
What about in your dump trailer in Kitchener?
That's not in Kitchener. That's like 2 hours north or an hour and a half north of Kitchener. Oh. So it would just sit there. Much like it would just sit in PK's yard.
Oh.
I would use it.
Would you?
We have lots of small access stuff. See, like, sometimes I think having a small excavator around, even on a commercial job, you find all kinds of stuff to do.
I don't know if you can bring it on commercial jobs.
Why?
Because I doubt that it's ROPS, right? So, like, it has to have the bar that, so it has a little sunshade on the top, but it's not like roll proof.
Essentially, what you're saying is you don't give a shit about the rules. Like, people shouldn't wear shorts, but we do care about the ROPS on the excavator.
You're not going to die from wearing shorts.
Well, you can. That's why people don't want you to wear shorts, because of heavy injuries from the wearing of shorts.
Oh.
I'm just saying.
Heavy injuries.
Pick and choosing the rules here.
You're right. And I'm allowed to do that because I own the business.
That's true.
Right?
That's the advantage.
Yeah. So the business is what you make of it as the owner. But so I don't know. I've got 2 excavators for sale. If they're still for sale.
Using this podcast to try to make a quick flip.
You that are of not top-notch quality from my own mouth.
Yeah, from Chad's own mouth.
From Chad's own mouth. These two excavators are not top-notch quality, nor can they be used on any kind of commercial site because he just pointed out a major safety hazard with them.
I bet they don't even have seatbelts in the fucking things. But also you can't flip the controls, so hope you can run cat controls.
Well, what if they're not cat?
What do you mean? I
They're
watched a
John
video. Apparently, they're cat controls.
Oh, are they? Okay. So
Yeah.
you watched, oh, so you did some investigation on these bad boys.
Only after I bought them. I thought, what piece of this shit did I just buy? And then I figured I better watch a video on these things.
this episode should be called "Don't Give a Fuck About Your Numbers."
So
buy random shit at the auction and then watch. Did you get caught up in the excitement of the auction?
I feel like Chad bought them just so we had a topic of conversation tonight.
Running out of things to talk about.
Did you know
guys.
what they were selling for before you bought them?
No, I had no clue what they would go for. But so, in my defense, on my plane ride to Costa Rica, I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and it's sort of along those lines of take massive action or take risks and shit like that. So I'm like, yes, I'll take a risk and I'll buy one excavator. And then I thought back to the book about how only like cowards do things half-assed. So I bought another excavator.
This is the best thing that ever happened of all 45 episodes.
No. It can't be the best.
Well, I think there is. So just to justify your position, because I think it does make some sense. If you're going all the way to Ritchie Brothers to bring home one little excavator and two little excavators will clearly fit on the float, and you have a legitimate plan to resell these things and think there's some value in them, then why not buy two?
Yeah.
Because there is, I mean, realistically, like our 20-ton float, or a 20-foot float, the 7-ton one, you could probably fit 5 of those motherfuckers on there and bring them home.
So, yeah, like I was going to put these in the back of a dump truck. Even like they're on pallets, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. So I might not even take a float. If I had a long box truck, I might try and fit them both in the back of a long box truck.
And that's why you don't have a slip tank.
That's why
for when you need to put your excavator in the back of your Dodge Ram and head down the road.
Whenever I worked for someone else, we've driven the little 1 or 2 ton excavator into the back of the dually by driving up a pile of mulch on multiple occasions and then float the machine home that way. So I'm not above getting these machines home in the back of a pickup if that could work for me. I don't know. We'll see if they sell. I'm sure they'll sell. Someone is going to want one of these. Like they'd be great for a homeowner or something like that. I don't know if they're contractor quality.
Sounds like we need to sell some more coaching calls on this podcast to help you with those payments there.
Help me with those. Well, they're paid for, so what do you do? I don't know. I'll update you.
I honestly believe that if you kept one in your yard, you will find uses for it in a season. Like I think that when you have something around, people will be like, fuck, just get that little excavator from the yard. Yeah. And for it only has to save you once or twice in a season to justify $7,000.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. No, it's
like when you said you bought one today, I was like, yeah, that's smart to have.
And then I told you I bought two, you're like, fucking dumbass.
No, when you bought two, I was like, I hope he's not overestimating the value of these.
And I could be, but
I'm pretty sure, Chad, you messaged me that you were trying to get a third one, though.
I might have bought a third one. Like if they didn't all sell at the same time, I may have been in it for one more. Like it's
did you see the enclosed one? There was one enclosed one.
Oh no. What was it, like saran wrap? Are you
No.
sure it just wasn't in the
It
packaging?
was legitimately an enclosed. How did that, see, the question I have is, how did they end up at the auction?
My assumption is that during the equipment boom, people were starting to get into importing from China, and then it's just overstocked, right? Where they just can't get rid of them, so they just go to auction.
I could feel that.
So you're saying I'm going to have trouble unloading these things?
I don't think you are, because I think there's a huge, like, honestly, like, if you're looking to get 10 or 11 grand for them, they're brand new.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of landscapers out there that don't have the budget for, because an excavator is legitimately, like Mike said. So Mike is a prime example of someone who does small space work and rents a lot of equipment and can't even justify $7,000 a year in rentals of a mini excavator.
Yeah.
So if a landscaper decided they did want their own mini excavator and they were of around Mike's size doing small space residential, you could say that a $10,000 excavator is a great purchase for them. And say they only put like 200 hours on it a year.
Yeah.
If you got 3 years out of it for $3,000 a year, you've got your own excavator. And there might be some days when you would have used an excavator, but you wouldn't pay for the rent for an excavator because it was only an hour's worth of work with a shovel. So you're like, oh, I'm not renting it, getting it floated there, doing all that stuff. So I'll just dig it by hand quickly, a couple hours. I'm not going to pay the $350. But if you owned the excavator, you'd be like, you know what? I'm going to swap that out in about 6 minutes and move on, because that excavator, if I can get that excavator to last me 3 years, which, I mean, hey, it's got a top-notch Briggs and Stratton gas motor. It's not a knockoff brand. It's a legit brand, right?
Yeah.
So if you can get that excavator to last you 3 years, which if you're only putting a couple hundred hours a year on it, I bet it financially makes great sense.
Yeah.
Maybe they could break it down on the Kid Contractor podcast.
Maybe we should send one to Caleb to review,
because we're not going to break it down here.
You just did break it down.
Deliver one to his shop. Well, fuck. Was that value?
That was value.
What's the address? P.O. Box. I think it'll fit in a P.O. box. Carroll, Ohio. I don't know what else it is, but we can send it out to him.
So, Mike, as the owner of that business, do you think that the excavator could potentially have value?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, even if I was in a better personal spot, like I had a solid, this is where we're living, this is our location, this is the service area that we're going to service, I would have had, equipment by now. But if you found a company like my size, they would definitely buy that for sure, especially like near Cornwall, where they don't have access maybe to, Bolton and getting in on those auctions and having to go pick it up and bring it back and all that.
Maybe it'll be great.
You should print off some like Kubota stickers.
I think that's fraud or something.
You could just say, I'm just decorating it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, just print a Kubota sticker, but leave the A off.
Kubota.
Kuboto. An O.
Yeah. Change it to an O. And then what color are the ones you bought?
Yellow.
Oh, then they're John Deere's.
Yeah, I get.
Is it a yellow cat? Like cat yellow?
Almost like a cat yellow. Okay. Yeah.
Ooh, like caterpillars.
It'll be like, instead of cat, it'll say Sha or something like that.
An upside down V.
Yeah.
Don't finish off the horizontal A.
Yeah, that'll work. So I don't think I'm gonna pull the wool over anyone's eyes, but yeah. Anyway, I'll try and sell them, and or maybe I'll keep one and sell one, and maybe it'll be great. They have fixed thumbs, so
what does that mean?
Instead of a hydraulic thumb that moves, you can relocate the thumb to 3 positions on the stick.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool.
And yeah, I mean, budget, right? But
yeah, but that's
how would that be used?
So you just do the pinching with the bucket instead of like a clamp.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah,
So
yeah. That
instead
makes
of curling up against your stick,
I'm thinking
Yeah.
like you're going towards something and then you have to get out and then position the thumb to try to hook onto. No, that makes total sense.
maybe I don't know, but that's all I got on the Chinese excavators.
We do have a couple of reviews here that come off that massive value that we just talked about there. Should I read off a couple of reviews
Yeah.
here?
Yeah, let's add some filler to this episode.
All right. So we have a review titled "Finest Hour Fanboy," and this is from Cincy Fanboy, and he or she says, "Marginal value, but great entertainment."
Right on.
I think that summarizes this episode so
Yeah.
far.
Margin. So it says marginal value, but great entertainment.
That's correct.
I'll take it.
That could be this episode title as well, too. It's
Yeah, that's a good one.
yeah. And then our second review comes from Beyond the Lawn, and this is titled "Massive
Guys?
Action Taken."
You're gone. You're
What?
back. Who
Can you
left
hear me?
us that? Who left us that review?
Beyond the Lawn.
You're on the lawn. Nice.
And they say their title is Massive Action Taken. And then they say these gurus are taking massive action to provide this great roundtable value. Love the episodes. Take massive action! Exclamation mark.
Right on. He called us gurus, though.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no.
I should say that those are both 5-star reviews, and anybody and everybody can go to Apple Podcasts, subscribe to us, leave us a rating and review, and we'll read it here.
Nice.
Perfect.
Our Spotify reviews are also up. We're at 31 5-star reviews,
Amazing.
which is
Wow.
great.
I can't
I
believe
like-
no one's given us a bad review.
Don't tempt them.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're not far off.
Do we have any?
I'm surprised we haven't hurt somebody's feelings enough to get in there and spam the 1-star reviews.
Do you really mean by that? I'm surprised you haven't hurt some like
Me?
talking. No, me.
Oh.
Like, did you really mean? Hey, Paver King, we're surprised you haven't hurt someone's feelings enough.
Who's most likely to hurt somebody's feelings on this podcast?
I think Gary V took my whole rant against him really to heart.
Oh, yeah.
He reached out to me.
Did he?
Yeah, he reached out and said, "Hey, man, don't rip me apart on your podcast. I'm Gary V, but I got feelings too." Don't call
Guru
me a
Energy
lot.
Drinks reached out to us. Did you see that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Guru, and that was a good energy drink. It got me through the night last night.
Yeah.
We were taking massive action, moving snow.
We've got another huge snowstorm coming.
Yeah,
March is
same.
not going well. Like I was hoping to be working by the end of the month. I don't know if we're gonna get there.
Do you usually end of March?
I can't remember. I always want to make a note of when we start, but I always forget.
I feel like the last 2 years has been early April for me, but that was
That might
early.
be- I've worked at the beginning of March before, up in just north of Ottawa, actually. We put in a retaining wall, an armor stone retaining wall, in a lake while the water was pumped to the bottom of the lake. And we had to be done it before they pumped the lake back up.
So the water was pumping the whole time while you need to get this wall in.
The lake was down because the dam was blocked, or I don't, whatever they do in the winter to drain the lake. I don't know how that works, but anyway, we put this monster wall in the water, and then a couple of weeks later, you couldn't see any. You could just see the top course.
They use a high flow trash pump to pump the lake
flow
water.
trash pump.
One time when I was like maybe 16, I got sent to pump out a retention pond as a job. Like that was my job, to go pump out the pond. So I started the pump and I ran it, but the water was like coming in from the bottom of the pump faster than I was pumping it out. So it was like a never ending job that I just did for like 3 weeks and never accomplished anything. I would go there every morning and then set up the pump and then sleep until the pump ran out of gas and just keep adding gas. And it never actually, I never finished it. It never got, and then eventually they just said, "Okay, give up on this and do something else."
How long did that last?
Like 3 weeks. But But see, the difference is in my generation, they said, go pump the water out of the pond. And I said, cool. So I did exactly what I was told. And then even though it wasn't working, in my generation, you just said, okay, well, whatever. And I would say to them, hey, like, this isn't like this isn't really going anywhere. It doesn't seem to be accomplishing anything. And they would say, just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
We always got told you're not paid to think. Just do your work. We're not paid to think.
Well,
So
this guy used to.
We did the work.
This guy used to pull his hair out of his head and then wave it in my face and say, "You're so stupid. I'm pulling my own hair out." So yeah, he didn't care about my opinion.
He didn't care about his own hair.
No, he was that angry.
Wow.
He was an angry guy, like really angry person.
He must have had a lot of hair.
No,
if he could afford to keep doing that, like
no, there was almost no hair. Wow. You're so stupid. I'm pulling out my own hair. Like, wow, I'm not bright.
Was it patchy or is it?
Yeah, he was like a bald guy.
That says more about him than it does about you.
Not when
Who's
you're
the
16.
stupid one?
When you're 16, you're like, wow, I'm an idiot. This guy's like actually like pulling his own hair out because I'm so dumb. So I, would give my opinion. Hey, I think we either need a bigger pump or a different plan because this isn't working with the tiny little 2-inch pump I have. And they would be like, you're an idiot. Just go there. And I'd be like, okay. And so I brought it up probably once. And then I just kept going there every day for like 3 weeks.
You needed a full trash pump.
Probably. I needed something.
I can tell you. Trash pump.
One time I was stealing water out of the harbor and like people were screaming at me from the ship. And I was honestly scared about getting shanghaied. like getting dragged on the ship. And, like, because there was no
Can you say shanghaied? Is it who's the racist one now?
No, that's a thing. That's a word.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think you can use it anymore.
What getting shanghaied is when you get pulled onto the ship.
I've never heard of that before.
I know, but I think that's a slippery slope.
I don't think it is. It's not. I don't think it's a cultural reference. I think it's like maybe it is. I'm not old. Maybe. So I was worried about getting kidnapped on a boat as it left the harbor.
There.
That better?
No, I didn't care that you said it, but I'm not allowed to say cripple. You're not allowed to say Shanghai.
I never said you weren't allowed. I said that's the reason that something happened. I don't remember what it was. I didn't say you weren't allowed to say it.
So you couldn't say something like Chad's excavators were shanghaied from China and shipped over to Canada where he...
So you've never heard of the term shanghaied, Mike?
Never.
Really?
No.
That's what they call, like, so what they used to do, I guess in Shanghai maybe, they would, as right before the ship was leaving, they would drag people onto the ship and then push it off the dock, and now you're on the ship and you work on the ship now.
I feel like that's probably happened a lot of different places for sure.
It used to be called getting shanghaied, so I guess it happened there a lot, or people are, maybe it is racist.
If we offended anybody, we apologize.
Basically what was happening was that them would grab someone trying to pander to the audience.
This is a provocative episode. Holy shit.
This is what happens when we have nothing to talk about.
This is where we get our first not a 5-star review.
Potentially. Hey, we could talk about the polls. There's been a lot of polls since the last episode we recorded.
I just want to mention that Ford just paid me $26.11 in dividends.
Oh, you're invested?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why, you have Ford stock?
Yeah.
I have something to talk about before we get into our worst hour here, which I think tees us up for those polls there.
Okay.
I see more and more often larger companies trying to become profitable now because for so long they're in growth or they're going through times where they know they're not going to be profitable. But I think it's evident now that they're trying to push for profit. For example, what are a couple of things? Like some software companies are implementing new sort of fees or raising their prices, or even what queued this up was a software company now is implementing expedited support fees, where if you want support, you have to pay now, unless you want to wait 24 to 48 hours or whatever the wait time is. Like things like this coming into effect. I think it's BMW that has heated seats that you have to pay a recurring fee for. So every BMW is going off the lot with like heated steering wheels, heated seats, but you can't actually activate them unless you pay that monthly fee. Like things like this, I'm seeing more and more often lately. Any thoughts or comments on that? Just something
That
that stuck out to me,
the
especially like during this
the,
time, I guess.
the whole BMW thing would steer me off buying a BMW ever.
Right.
Like I wouldn't even consider it now. I
Yeah.
didn't before, but I especially wouldn't now. Um, could you imagine? How could you do that? How could that translate to the landscape world? What could you do to generate revenue,
In terms of
a
like
recurring
recurring
revenue? Yeah.
for a truck
Like,
that you purchase or
no,
for
no,
like your
for like
business.
in your landscape career. Like, how could you install a pad? Could you imagine
I've been
trying to pull
trying to
that shit
play
on a
around
client?
with that in terms of like some sort of paver maintenance, like when you sell it to
Yeah,
them, but it just I can't wrap my head around like how that would actually work because say you like go back to pressure wash, that's your service, and like seal and do that
yeah,
every you're doing that like once every 3 years or something. So it's more so like on a project basis and not like, hey, pay us monthly and we'll make sure to maintain your space, right?
yeah,
Didn't someone have a program where they would like seal your driveway every year for 5 years as part of their sales thing or something?
yeah. I feel like I've heard that pitch before. Someone has tried that or something like an extended warranty. How about that extended warranty on your patio?
Call people up on
I
that.
feel like a snake oil salesman just talking about it. Like just mentioning it to a client. I don't think I could.
I I think that someone people were selling like a maintenance package with the driveways. I don't remember who that was.
I spoke with
Someone.
a couple contractors recently. One does a lifetime warranty, but they do maintenance work as well. So it kind of ties into that. That's because they don't want anybody else like touching or installing something near a project that they did. So they have a lifetime warranty that they do with all their projects. It's so a client signs up for a design build, they're also signing up for maintenance essentially. And then another contractor does a an upsell on a lifetime warranty for the project, but it's a one-time fee at the beginning. I don't like that personally. I'd rather have it
Yeah, I don't
be
like that.
recurring. But those are two different models around that what I was talking about there.
Hmm.
So say you're doing this whole lifetime warranty thing. If they pay you an upfront fee, you're on the hook for that project for 25 years.
Well, life as long as they're living
Well,
there,
I mean,
right?
if that's your fine print, it's minimum 25 years, I'd assume.
I think it's illegal to have more than a 25-year warranty in
Yeah.
Oh,
Canada.
really?
There's some a lifetime warranty in Canada is considered 25 years. There's some limit to that.
Interesting.
But
I know that from maybe working for someone for a few months that had a lifetime
I
warranty.
think
I don't
what
remember
other
who.
product
I
do
don't
you
remember who it was.
what other product do you hear of with a lifetime warranty? I can't imagine being on the hook.
Pavers. All the paver companies have lifetime
Yeah, I
warranties.
suppose, but not the instant. Fuck, I wouldn't imagine. I could not sleep at night knowing I'm on the hook for a project for 25 years.
Yeah, but here's the thing. So I've thought about this periodically, but you offer a limited lifetime warranty only to the people that you sold the job to. The
Yeah,
chances of anyone in today's society living in a house for more than 5 years after you finish a job is probably only 10%.
yeah,
Right.
Most people flip the house
yeah.
and
No,
move.
you're right.
Most people who frequently renovate things move constantly because
Yeah,
they're people who aren't like, how often do you go to a house where someone has lived? We did one this year, but how often do you go to a house where someone has lived for 25 years and never done a project and do work?
yeah. I can't say I've
Almost.
ever.
So we did one this year where the people had owned the house from brand new. The house was 30 years old. And this was the land we did their backyard. It was the first project they'd ever done in the house.
Hmm.
I can't even remember the last time I did something like that. Most of the people we do work for are flipping their houses every 5 years because they're the people that are consistently renovating and then unhappy with their location and then sell and move because they want a life of consistent, endless turmoil. So if you're, well, that's true.
No,
If
you're
you're,
right. I
if
don't.
you're,
No, you're right.
if you're adding a lifetime warranty, chances are these people aren't going to live there more than 5 years. How long is your warranty, Mike?
5 years.
Like, how often do people actually live out the 5 years when you offer the 5-year warranty?
No.
Well, you do work in that retirement community, so I guess you're just booking up that 5-year warranty. Bam, bam, bam.
I've had, when I used to mention my warranty period, I had one guy call me at the end, towards the end of the 4th year, to come back and touch up some things because his warranty period was finishing. Not that anything really needed to be done, like maybe some sand here, whatever. But just because he knew that the warranty period was coming up, he wanted to fucking squeeze my time on that.
So how many
I guess he had a right too.
And in your 12 years of being in business at NDL, how many times has that happened?
That was the only time for that.
Yeah. How many projects do you think you've done?
Ooh,
500?
you think that much?
Maybe. That's less than 50 a year.
I don't think I do 50 projects a year.
But residential, right? For Chad?
How many do you think you probably did a lot more when you first started though?
Yeah,
like smaller jobs.
Yeah, 2 or 3 a week. Something like that. Yeah.
Average it out. So say you did 400 jobs. Let's just round it down to 400.
Yeah.
You've had one guy call you one time about the 4-year warranty.
Yeah. 5-year warranty. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. But it sticks out, because he's the only one, right? It's and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I mean, I'll gladly go back and fix any of the problems that I've had on jobs. Even to this day, some of the ones from 10 years ago or whatever. But I don't think I've had more than, I want to say 10, 15 callbacks in my career. And some of them are sand related and some of them are cap related. And yeah, but no, like I never had a fucking catastrophic anything. Like no walls ever fell over or something like that. So must be doing something right.
I don't think that like having a 5-year warranty is like, if you're going to warranty something for 2 years, you might as well warranty for 5.
Yeah, that's my thought process too.
Like, because if something's going to fuck up, it's going to fuck up in the first 2 years.
Yeah.
Like, so why not just kick the 5 and make people feel better, shiny and happy?
I used to be 3 and then I just went to 5 because it just looks better on paper, I guess. And there's no difference between 3 and 5, right?
I was gonna say, what difference did it make in your business?
None.
So next year you go in 8?
No.
See, I just don't like having a big warranty on paper for simply because I don't want to get caught by the balls if a client is a complete asshole.
That guy called you one time?
No. Yeah, I know. But like, I don't know. Maybe it's all in my head. But
no, I agree.
I don't want to be attached to that asshole, right? If I say no warranty, I'll still get people, if they need things corrected or fixed, I'll go back and do it absolutely no problem. But I don't want to be held by the balls legally to do it, especially if someone's going to be a peckerhead about it.
Do you think anyone has do you think anyone's hired you specifically because you offer a warranty?
I was going to say, my first year, I had a potential client call me and say, "Hey, Mike, I want to go with you. The only holdup is the other quote that I got from this other guy. He offers a 5-year. You only do 3-year. Can you do something about that?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can. Yeah, 5 years is fine." And I got the job from that. But that's the only time that's ever happened.
Did you get to see his price?
No, but I know the contractor, so I knew it was pretty competitive, as well as it was my second year, so I was probably priced lower anyways.
I would say I'll play ball with you on that. I want to see the quote.
Yeah,
take. Like
it was on the phone. It didn't really matter to me. I was just like, yeah, no, 5 years, I'll do it.
Is that an ethical thing? If you guys had the opportunity, would you look at your competitors' quotes?
Yeah. I don't care.
Yeah,
I want to know. I want to know what I'm quoting against. I don't think it's ethical. I think it's just business.
If you ask a client that you know you missed out on the job, or do you ask a client that you know you missed out on a job anything like afterwards, like if they reach out to you and say, hey, I appreciate your time but we're going to go another direction, do you ask any questions after that, like?
I used to when I
Yeah.
cared about my sales process deeply.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons I ended up with Nancy Green. I was bidding a job, I didn't get it, so I called. I thought I had a really good rapport. I thought I had the job nailed down. I didn't get it. So I reached out and I said, hey, like, why didn't I get this job? And they said, well, it's a $60,000 job and you gave us no drawing. And and this was like 13 years ago. I've been dealing with Nancy for at least 10 or 12 years. So this was a long time ago. 60 grand was a big job. And they said, you gave us like a drawing you did by hand that makes no sense. There's no scale. And the other person handed us a scale drawing. And so that's why we hired them. And I was like, man, I just lost a really good job over that. So I'm going to change my sales process.
Nice.
But that was only because of follow up. Like I used to follow up with everybody. I don't think I've done it lately because now if you don't hire me, I just think it's because you're stupid.
So the question in my mind is, did that other contractor charge for that drawing, or are they giving it free?
Back then, it was all free.
Yeah. That
When I
still
first
burns
started
my arse,
with
these free fucking drawings.
when I first started with Nancy, we used to like I would obviously build it in, but when I first started with her, I basically said to her, like, let's do because she was brand new. She had just started being a landscape designer. I said, okay, well, like if we're gonna go in, let's roll the dice together. So, we would sell everything together and we would do it together, and neither of us were getting paid until we closed jobs. So we got really good at closing jobs because she wasn't getting paid and I wasn't getting paid. Now I would guess that 95% of our jobs, Nancy's already been paid for the design fee. And then I pay her a management fee for managing the jobs, coming by at least 2 or 3 times a week to see the guys and talk to the client and be involved.
If
But she's already been paid her design fee. I would say on 95, unless it's like something I'm doing for a really good friend as a favor. I'd be like, hey, Nance, can you pound out a quick little drawing for this front walkway for me? And then she get paid on the back end. But I would guess 95% of the time she's paid now, well before and then she still gets a management fee after that for taking care of our jobs. But back when we first started, me and her, it was ride or die.
Hmm.
I spent just as much time as she did.
What about you, Mike? Do you do drawings? Do you charge for drawings? How does it go down on your end?
I've done a lot of different ways, and I think I'm kind of flexible in terms of the client that I'm working with. Like I've done upfront for the design. I've done no fee for the design, but I just kind of build it into the pricing. And then
So
when I first
lied
started, well, I don't like doing that anymore.
because you're not a liar.
It was just something I was trying there. What I just did was I just included into my overhead essentially. But when I first started, I was doing free drawings essentially.
Yeah, we've done tons and tons and tons of free drawings. And we would get the price is good. Can we get a drawing now? And then that burned my arse too. Like, because you've already given the price and told them what you want to do, and now they want to see it, and you didn't build to fucking see it because you already talked about it and everything was good.
But then you could still say like, oh yeah, the drawing cost this. Right?
Yeah, I suppose you can. But to me, that's just throwing more extra, like right off the bat, I'm throwing extras.
Yeah.
And that was never my way of doing things. But that's probably one of the things I struggle most with as a residential contractor is I hate doing drawings for people. And they always want them at no cost and shit. So I'll do the odd one or two a year on the iPad and stuff, but I try not to.
I like it. I enjoy it.
Really?
Yeah, it's fun.
I obviously don't. That's why I have Nancy.
If I could have a Nancy, I would pay for a Nancy for sure.
Everyone should have a Nancy.
Yeah.
Having a Nancy is a tremendous enhancement to your business, in my mind. Because there's people who I would fail to sell to, but she will not. because she's just a different person.
Mhm.
She shows up, she's got her fancy clothes and her
Fancy
you know,
Nancy.
fancy sunglasses and her brushed hair, and she's not covered in dirt, and she's clean and professional. And there's a certain segment of the population, when you get over a certain dollar number, that have an expectation of someone to behave that way when they're at their property trying to extract. They don't want you showing up covered in dirt and sawdust and all this stuff. They want a Nancy, and she has opened up. I guarantee over the last however long we've been working together, over 10 years, she's opened up a whole new world of clients to me that I would have never got because they just weren't going to be into my shit.
Can we do a crossover episode with Fancy Nancy?
Sure, I bet Nancy would be on.
That'd be awesome.
I love that's Fancy Nancy.
Fancy Nancy.
Nancy's. I'm going to warn you in advance. Nancy's a firecracker.
Yeah.
Awesome.
She don't put up. She don't put up with shit. She's been hanging around with me for like 10 years.
It's perfect for this podcast.
I am never allowed to repost this video because it would be the end of my relationship with her, but I was not required to delete it. So, in my Instagram account, if you were to scroll back far enough, there is a video of Nancy lip syncing to NWA.
Ah!
And it is spectacular.
Wow.
It is probably one of the best things I ever posted. But after she made the video, she knew I would post it. Like, come on. But after she saw it, she was like, I don't like that video. Don't ever post it again. I said, do I have to delete it? She said, no, but don't post it ever again. So I have never reposted it. But it is perhaps by far the greatest thing I've ever posted.
My favorite Nancy and Paver King collaboration is the one where you go up to her with a leaf blower.
I like that one too. Yeah.
That's a highlight there. That's a real highlight.
Oh my goodness.